my name is Ronak and you're watching VectoArt. In today's video, we will learn how to create a resume design in Microsoft Word. So let's start by creating a blank document and let's go to insert and add a blank page. Now next we'll go to layout and set the layout to margin to narrow. Now next let's go to insert shape and draw a rectangle on the document. Now let's change a couple of properties. So for that you'll have to go to the shape properties. So right click and format shape. Let's go to fill and change a different solid color. Okay. Okay. Now next let's go to line and set to no line to just get rid of the borders. Next we'll go to insert and draw a line. Okay. Okay. Next let's insert a text box. So let's draw a text box on the document. Okay, so let's type in the text. Let's go to properties and increase the font size and the font as well. I'm selecting the font as Railway. The first name, let's change it to Railway Light, and the next one let's leave it as it is. Let's increase the font a little bit more. Okay, let's get rid of the borders. For that you'll have to go to the shape options and under the line you'll have to select no line. Let's make a copy of the line that we have on the screen and let's place it below the newly added text box. Instead of dragging, let's go to format and change the line height there and place it below the last name. So next let's align the first line that we had with the second line. Okay, so now we'll do some minor adjustments. Okay, let's copy and paste the first text box and let's change the text to UX designer. So this text box will hold the job title. Okay, let's make a copy of the second text box and before that let's change the color of the text box, fill color to no fill. Okay, now let's start adding the address details in this text box. So this text box will hold the address details. Let's remove the spacing between the letters. and the lines. Okay, next let's add the email details. Okay, so that's done. Let's I think we'll have to resize the text box, just so let's move some of the content to the left and then finally increase the text box width. Okay, so that's done. Okay, now let's make a copy of that final text box that we have, and let's add some profile details. So let's align the text box, and yes, I think we'll have to reduce the font size of the job title. Okay, now next let's add some placeholder text, but in a practical scenario you will be placing your profile summary or an overview of your profile. So let's get rid of this text, let's make it short and crisp. Okay, now next we will have the profile picture. So for that you'll have to draw an ellipse shape on top of the document and place it below the address, and then finally go to format shape, and under the fill it with a picture or a texture, and browse the picture. And now we'll have to crop it, so go to format and crop the image. Okay, yeah, I think that will do. Yes, so once you are done cropping, just release the mouse and the picture will be cropped. Now let's get rid of the line, and now next we'll draw one more ellipse next to the existing one, and this one we will be filling it with the color yellow. Just small visual element on the page. Okay, so let's remove the line and fill it with a color. Yes. Okay, now next let's make a copy of the job title text box, and let's fill it with a quotation mark. Okay, let's change the color to white and move it on top of the yellow circle and increase the font size. And now all we have to do is place it inside the ellipse and align it. Now next we will move on to the education details. So let's make a copy of the text box and place it below the profile details, and let's increase this font size and also the font weight. So let's select the text and increase the font size and the font weight to bold. Also let's add two spaces between each letters. Again, we are doing this just for the look and feel of the uh, content. Yeah, so now next let's add the education details. So let's make a copy of the existing text box and let's start adding the details now. So first goes the university name, and next will be the subject details and the degree details. So there you can see that there is a lot of spacing between the lines, so we'll have to remove that spacing and set a custom spacing. So let's remove the bold and remove the spacing as well, and let's set a spacing of 1.5. Okay, so let's make a copy of the line tool again, and now place it next to the first education details. Okay, let's see how it looks if we change the width. I think we'll have to stick to the previous width, which was 0.5, so I will reduce it back. Okay, let's make a copy of the university details and place it next to it. And let's make one more copy and place it to the next. So we have three details now and we need three separators. So let me first reduce the width of the first one and then make a copy of it and place it next to it in parallel. Yeah, so let's increase the size first, and let's make a copy of the big line on top and place it below it. Now let's copy the length from the first one and change it in the next one as well. Okay, so that's done. Now let's move on to the experience details. So let's make a copy of the title education and place it below. Yeah, let's change the text to experience. Again, we will be adding spacing between the letters, 2 spaces after each letter. Okay, done. So now let's make a copy of the text box and place it below the experience title. And now let's start adding the job title, and the duration and the company name. So let's start with the job title. Next, the company name, and the year. Okay, now we have our first template ready, so let's make a copy of it and place it below. Before that, we will have to add the job description, which will be on the right hand side. So let's make a copy and paste it and change the content. I will may just copy the placeholder content and paste it here, but this is the section for uh, typing in the job description and roles and responsibilities. So I'm adding a bullet list, and also I have changed the indentation so that it aligns with the text. So let's make copies of this text and paste it thrice. Yeah, so that's done. And now let's make the copy of the job title and align it with each of the job description. Okay, so that's done. So let's now move on to the second page, which will be a continuation of the experience and which will hold skills, hobbies, and references. So let's make a copy of all the content on the first screen by clicking Control A and then Control C, and finally move on to the page 2 and paste it. So let's get rid of the profile details, the pictures, and the ellipse, and let's move the education details below, which will be later changed into skills. So I'm just moving it below, and I will move the experience details up, and mark the experience title as continued. So I'll move it up, and then get rid of the some of the details. Yeah, and then finally move the education details up. Okay, so I think there is enough space for skills and references and hobbies. Yeah, so that's done. And now let's move this a little up, just to make sure that we have enough space below. And now let's change the education title to uh, skills. Before that, let's change the experience title to experience space continued, as it is a continuation of the experience from the first page. Let's reduce the font size and remove the bold. Also, let's add spacing between the letters. In this case, it is just one space. So now let's move on to the education section and clear it, and let's change it to skills. Yeah, so this will be the professional skills, the next one will be the technical, and the last one will be the expertise. So let's quickly add some details under the respective titles. Okay, so let's make a copy of the skills and professional details and paste it, and move it down. And now let's change the skills title to hobbies, add spacing between the letters, and then change the professional details to interests, and then let's add the interest one by one. Let's now make a copy of the hobbies title and change it to references. Also add spacing between the letters, and quickly add the reference details. And I think this will be the last section. Let's remove the bullet points and add the reference details. So the job title, the company name, address details, phone number, and email and website details. You can right click on the email and get rid of the hyperlink. Before that, let's change the font to bold and add spacing between the letters, sorry, the spacing between the lines. So you have set a line height of 1.5. So let's copy this and paste it in the expertise section and just get rid of the bullet points. That's it guys, our resume is ready. Hope you all liked watching this video. If you do, please give this video a thumbs up, like, share and do subscribe to my channel. Thank you guys.